time to get your fix. Come on down, get your horrible gaming review. 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 Wow.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and welcome back to another horrible game review. Before we get into it, as usual, a few disclaimers. Number one, this is a snap judgment review. The horrible in the title of this content does not necessarily refer to the game or DLC that I am reviewing, but much more the content itself. I do snap judgment reviews here, as previously mentioned, which means I get about 5 to 10 hours of it, and I'm just trying to give you a good idea whether you're going to enjoy it right off the bat or not. That being said, I will give you an overview of what the game is. I will give you the pros and the cons in my point of view, as all reviews are, and then I will tell you whether or not I will be sticking with it outside the purposes of this review. That being said, the game that I am reviewing this week is actually not a game itself, but a part of a game, a very important, crucial part of the game. That is Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty's Battle Royale mode. Now, I want to say right up front, this specifically refers to Call of Duty's Battle Royale Warzone and not the death matches, the normal story missions, anything like that. Only the free stuff that I got access to, and that is Warzone. So, what is Warzone? Well, it's a Battle Royale, and unless you've been under a rock and don't know what a Battle Royale is, well, let's just go ahead and tell you, just in case you have been. Battle Royale is where a certain number of players drop into a large map. Once there, they are basically equipped with almost nothing or nothing. They have to loot from chests or locations or other dead bodies or whatever to equip their arsenal as the map itself shrinks slowly over time. If you're caught outside the map, you will die. And you basically have to kill everybody until you're the last person standing, or the last team standing, depending. But let's face it, you're a gamer. You know what Battle Royales are. They've been around for a few years now, and they're not going anywhere. It's a genre unto itself. So what Warzone is specifically is I think it's like 150 people. You can go in solo, you can go in quads, you can go in trios, you can go in duos. All of them are up for grabs. You drop in just like any other Battle Royale, but it brings its Call of Duty's fast-paced, strafe and fire sort of action to the Battle Royale genre. Much like other Battle Royales, you loot as usual, but instead of just looting random stuff on the ground like in PUBG, you're looking for chests. They make a refrigerator-like noise the closer you get to them, and that allows you to know where they are, which is nice in the field of battle. You'll loot these chests for all sorts of stuff. Money, equipment, kill streaks, guns, you name it. Anything Call of Duty is in these chests somewhere. The money thing is a really interesting aspect to this Battle Royale that has been added to it, where other ones maybe not so much. There are buy stations spread randomly across the map whenever you go into a game, and those buy stations allow you to spend money to get equipment you didn't find in chests, such as armor plates, self-revive kits, and the all-important loadout. Loadouts being those Call of Duty perks that are in every game, as well as a specific gun set that you've pre-built and equipped yourself. So basically you're playing for your loadout. In addition to this, after the first circle, and I think the third circle closes, you get a free loadout that drops down. Of course, everybody's got to fight for it, though. But it drops down, and you can actually equip your loadout for free if you can get to it. There's currently only one map, that's Verdansk, and yeah, it's a decent map. It's got a lot of different areas, a lot of different spots for it. Another concept unique to Warzone as far as the Battle Royale goes is the concept of the gulag. So most Battle Royales, you die, you're out, you're done, you can move on to the next match or wait for your buddies to finish or whatever. With Warzone, you can actually get back into the fight. Now, I know Apex Legends has a buy-in sort of station. You can actually you get money in that too, and you can actually buy other people in. That's great. But this actually has a chance for the player himself using skill to get back in. Basically, what happens is you're moved to the gulag, you wait in a queue, and then when the queue expires, you and one other person who's been eliminated get a random set of weaponry, and you have like 30 seconds to kill each other. In the last 10 seconds, a flag pops up, so if you can get closer to the flag than the other person for the longer period of time, you win, you go back into the fight. You kill the other person, you win, you go back into the fight. Meaning you get dropped down where your team is, or drop down somewhere inside the circle if you're alone. As you continue to play through this game, as far as outside stuff, microtransaction stuff is very heavily prevalent in this game, but let's face it, we all knew that was going to be there. There are a lot of there's all sorts of things you can get. Color schemes for your weapons, different operators skins for you to go in as. You can get nameplates and kill shot plates and all sorts of stuff that you can customize and upgrade, and they are all behind paywalls. I mean, that's to be expected. Then, of course, the guns themselves, as you play more with them, they will level up, which allow you to attach stuff in your loadout, which allows you to make your loadout stronger, which gives you that kind of strength to the loadout itself. Much like Apex Legends, and obviously not like the other ones, this actually has a rarity system for weapons. Every weapon has a different rarity, so every weapon comes in every form of rarity. So, you know, your AK-47 comes as common, then it comes as a rare, and then an epic, and then a legendary. This doesn't mean that the gun itself performs necessarily straight out better, like it doesn't do more damage or isn't any more accurate. What it does is it adds attachments to the gun that, of course, make it a little bit stronger. So your standard AK-47, your common AK-47 does the same amount of damage as a maxed out AK-47. However, the maxed out AK-47 has probably a holographic sight or a thermal sight, and then it also has an extended clip and some sort of compensator that maybe deals with recoil, like stuff like that. It adds an attachment for every rarity, which is cool. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I mean, with the addition of kill streaks from Call of Duty, which is very interesting, such as UAVs, dead silence, and all the weird airstrikes that come with it. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward Battle Royale experience, just Call of Duty style. So why don't we head into the pros and cons, at least in my opinion, and talk about what I liked and didn't like about this. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, I do want to just point out I have played quite a few Battle Royales in my time. Realm Royale, PUBG, Apex Legends, you've named them, I've tried them. Darwin Project, I think is what it's called. I've played a lot of Battle Royales. I actually like the concept of it, and when done well, it can be a really fun and rewarding multiplayer experience without the backlash of toxicity. You know, players can get toxic, but they're not going to remember your name out of 150 if they get killed. Especially in a Call of Duty where you might go to the gulag and come back. You're not going to remember that person who sniped you. Whereas when I play For Honor, I get constant messages about people upset that I beat them. So, let's go into the pros. I like to go positive first. And my first and most biggest pro of Warzone has got to be the versatility. There is just so many ways to play this game. And while I hear just before I started that they had an issue with battle rifles, right now, just about any gun can get you to the finish depending on how you use it and the way you use it. Plus, with kill streaks, the addition of the buy stations, the Gulag, it's just a very versatile game in the way you play and the way you approach the game. I haven't really found a way that's just plain stupid. You know, sniping is viable, mid-range combat is viable, house-to-house combat is viable. If you get in the right place at the right time and you stick to kind of like a strategy, you can get pretty far in this. And you can do it pretty early. I mean, you'll get your deaths, your quick deaths, but you can definitely get in there. I especially enjoyed the Gulag, which it gives you that second chance. I can't count the number of times that in PUBG I would be just basically running for like 30 minutes to get popped by somebody from behind who I just managed to miss. With this, you get that second chance, which makes it feel like you're never really out of the fight. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that part. I guess in that first pro, I kind of blew my wad for the second pro, but my second pro is definitely the Gulag. The second chance mentality of this is just bar none one of the coolest. I mean, yeah, in Apex Legends, you can respawn a buddy if you can manage to get to the right place at the right time. But this is just, I love the idea of being able to get in there on your own merit, especially in solos. I'm a big solos player in Battle Royales, mainly because I don't like to lose for a team. So if I'm worse than the people around me, I hate bringing them down. Whereas if I'm alone, I only have myself to blame. With this, I can actually get back into it. That first death is not the end, and I just love that. Most other Battle Royales are you get one mistake and you're out. This actually gives you a two-strike system, and I really enjoyed that, especially with Call of Duty. It especially serves well to balance Call of Duty's quick time to kill, which is nice. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe I got the drop on because I wasn't looking behind me and somebody just mowed me down before I ever had a chance to react, but now I get a second chance to actually redeem that. Pro number 3 is the map. Okay, so don't get me wrong. I love a lot of variety. So I love that PUBG has multiple maps. And I love when you can play on multiple maps. However, this map does it all. It really does. It has something for everybody. And this fits into pro number 1, which is the versatility.
Oh, come on.
You know, again, it's viable to go house to house and shoot people with a shotgun. Not just because the shotguns work and you have the speed or whatever, and they're good balanced, but because there's huge city areas, huge big city areas that you can move into. But that doesn't necessarily prohibit the people who are sniping, the people who are mid-range fighters. There are plenty of fields and other sorts of things to stick to for them so that they can take their longer shots and get wins and kills that way. It is so refreshing to be able to completely change my style up repeatedly from map to map, from match to match, and be rewarded by that. It's really nice. My final pro is a little bit smaller, but it's just something that I found in the game that I really loved, and I just wanted to share. When somebody is shooting at you from a distance, there is a glint from their scope. I can't tell you how cool that is. I have been in so many games where I've been being sniped and I just can't find the person sniping me. I love the fact that they balance sniping and mid-range gunfire from a source by kind of giving you this chance to actually see them. If you're spry enough on your feet, you can stay out of combat enough, you can actually figure out where they are. I love that. I love the glint. It also makes players who are mid-range fighters and long-range fighters be a little bit smarter about how they're shooting when they're taking their shots. And that's what really is interesting about this game, is they have that kind of fine-tuned. You have to figure out what guns you're using and figure out exactly when to take your shots, because you don't want to give yourself away, because the opponents are so fast. So just because you see them, you shouldn't take shots at them. You should take shots when you can get that kill. And that's really cool. I like it. It makes it a very methodical, thought-provoking battle royale, in my opinion. All right, so let's go negative. Let's move into the cons. My first and biggest con has to be the monetization of this game. Don't get me wrong. I am not against monetizations of games. I'm not even against microtransactions. Really, I'm not. I get, especially with free services, that games need to make money, and it is a business. I'm not going to have a problem when you try and charge me for stuff, especially if it's only cosmetic. But there is a couple of things about the monetization of the game, of this one, that specifically rubbed me the wrong way. Number one, there is nothing available to you when you first start. Look, I get you want to put stuff behind walls. I get you want to make people, pay for stuff. But 3 very baseline operators when you have 70, it's just annoying. Give us a couple more options in the beginning. I like to customize my character. I like to do that. even if it's just small. Like, give me just a couple of options. I'm not saying give us the whole fort. You're still going to have plenty of people out there willing to spend more money on stuff, but just a couple of things so that I can just make my character a little bit unique. That's all I'm looking for. Instead of just the sea of normalcy, except for the people who paid for anything else and got a ton of operators or whatever. I mean, yeah. And some of those operators can be unlocked with challenges, but the challenges are incredibly long tail ends of things, unless you have the actual Call of Duty and the deathmatch. So I would really love to see just a couple more options made available to the free players would be really nice. The other thing about the monetization kind of gives me a little bit of pay-to-win vibes. I know, that's a real bad language, and it's probably going to get a lot of people who are very happy with Warzone up in arms. Hear me out. Now, when you had pay-to-win in, like, Battlefront, it meant you could pay for the stuff that you would have to earn in loot boxes that would take you just years and years and years to get. And that was wrong. It's not that bad. But still, the way the gun leveling up system works is the more time you're on a weapon, the more time you have a weapon equipped, the more experience points you earn for that weapon, which allows you to unlock those more gunsmithing slots and more attachments to put on the gun to give yourself more customization. Now, this is all well and good, with the exception of the fact that anybody who actually bought the game and got the deathmatch can go into deathmatch and earn that so much faster, because deathmatch is so much quicker. I mean, with deathmatch, you're playing 10 to 20 minute matches. You're constantly in the match. You're not just dying and watching your friends finish it. So the weapons you go in with or the weapons you pick up, you will level up incredibly fast. And then you can take that leveling up into the Warzone stuff. I find that a little bit annoying. If you're going to have a free-to-play service like this that is a full game, that's where the balance kind of gets a little tricky, in my opinion, because anybody who paid for that full game has an advantage going in, and that's not really fair. I know they paid for it, and they should get something extra, but they're already getting something extra because they're getting the story stuff. They're getting access to the death matches. So they shouldn't necessarily get an in-game advantage over other players, which they kind of do. Sorry, I probably take some flack for these comments, but they do. They will get their guns to where they want their guns in their loadout so much faster than I will, and that just kind of irritates me a little bit. All right, I have one more con, and that con is definitely the lack of mobility in climbing situations. And what I'm talking about is you'll have moments where you can mantle up onto top of a shelf and then mantle up a 6-foot shelf and then mantle up on top of the roof. That's another 6 foot above you very easily and quickly. And then you'll run into a rock that's 4 feet high and it won't even let you jump onto it. And that straight up got me killed a couple of times. Super frustrating. Gotta point that out. I wish there was a little bit more consistency in that, especially in a game like Call of Duty where everybody basically runs all the time super fast. Like, the mobility is the name of Call of Duty, so like the name of the game in that game. So just give us a little bit more, or at least normalize what we can mantle on, what we can jump over, and what we can't. There are other cons to talk about in this, but they're so blatantly obvious that I don't feel like I need to waste the time on this, like the anti-cheat stuff. Some other things about like picking up weapons and stuff. And we actually have a video coming out about 5 things we want to see in Warzone, where I actually talked to the community while I was playing it and working up to this review. And that's coming out the Tuesday after this. So you can see more there. So let's just move to whether or not I'm going to stick with it. And I'm going to say yes, but it's kind of like a tentative yes. Look, I like this. I think this is one of the best battle royales out there. I'm not going to lie. I think this exceeds PUBG. I think it exceeds Fortnite. And actually, while I think Apex Legends is very close to it in how it plays and how good it is, I think this kind of succeeds, gets above Apex, because Apex isn't as much fun solo. So that's... I like it. I like the versatility of this game. I like the way it plays. However, it's still not going to be the thing that holds me for extended periods of time. This is going to be the game that I jack into and I play between games. Like when I'm done with a game and my next game isn't coming out for another month or so, this is the thing that I'm going to play. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but this is definitely filler for me and will continue to be filler. Nonetheless, if you're looking for a battle royale, I don't think you should sleep on Call of Duty Warzone. I think it's really good, and I think it's one of the best out there, which, again, I'm probably going to get crapped on for that, but in my opinion, I've played a lot of them, and I really like this one. I really like this one, which is weird because it's got a fast time to kill, and I'm not a fan of that. So, all right. In any case, I hope this helped you. I hope this got you where you need to be. As usual, you can reach us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord. The link will be in the description below. You can influence all of our shows from there. And, yeah, as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. See you guys next week.